Incredible flavours, even better stories. One pour, 10 minutes. Aussie bourbon lovers sharing bourbon with Australia.
Ooh, good one. Nice pop.
Bit of an echoey one there.
What do we have at H?
We're having some Maker's Mark, Dave, but it's some special Maker's Mark.
Not just any ordinary Makers. I mean, not that Makers is necessarily ordinary, but...
Oh, it's extraordinary. But this one is extra special. It's from Singapore. Well, no, it's not from Singapore.
No, it is from Singapore.
It's there. Well, I'll let you read the title out because you probably can explain it better than me.
You want to read it out? It's the Singapore city expression. They did these city expressions. It's called Special Number 4 Edition, which I actually don't quite understand. It's their wood finishing series, and it's the city edition that is the Singapore one. We've had the Sydney one as well.
There's a London one?
Yeah, I should know all this, shouldn't I?
Maybe? Sydney. I got the Sydney one for you, and you got me the Singapore one.
Yeah. Do you know where I got it for you?
No.
Singapore,
Tell
of course.
Me the story.
Cheers.
Cheers. You got it in Singapore, but I can't remember when. We've clearly enjoyed it because the bottle's nearly empty.
It was on the way home from a business trip. Of course it was.
Business trip. We're back on a business trip. I had to source someone to get you Sydney one date.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of these beautiful kind of bottle shapes that's the old kind of 46 shapes, that lovely round kind of like almost football-shaped bottle.
Yep.
They're lovely with the wax seal, of course, Maker's wax seal.
But it's a very clever idea doing like the different – and they say they kind of capture the flavours of that city.
Yeah.
So this is going to be obviously have a little bit of spice to it.
On the nose, this has this lovely cherry confectionery thing going on. You know that cherry note that –
it's delicious.
Blake kind of spoke about when we chatted with him, like that kind of uniquely cherry. Since I'm an idiot, so I didn't know
Probably
to
nerd.
think that
What's an idiot?
Yeah, no, I'm an idiot. But I didn't know that there was a cherry note that I was looking for in Makers, but that's what that is. And lovely, sweet, kind of is it weird to say chocolate-coated cherry when you bite into it and it's all gooey? What's that? Have you had one of them?
Oh, like the not like a cherry ripe, but
it's not a cherry ripe.
It's almost like a Turkish delight kind of.
No, it's
texture.
a bit very specific chocolate, like a liqueur, maybe a liqueur cherry.
Yeah.
And inside, like a good one, obviously. Yeah. Inside, it's all gooey and like a liqueur.
Yeah.
And
but with a cherry flavour. That's what you get in the nose.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of, and it's like a real subtle milky chocolate, like a Cadbury Dairy Milk glass.
I like to close my eyes and just imagine our trips to Singapore when I smell this one.
Far out, it's good.
To try and capture the purpose of them creating this.
There's also this wacky, like smooth, custardy kind of note as well. Is that too weird?
No, I just instantly feel like the warmth because it's like definitely in Singapore's heat.
I love the wood finishing series because they use the staves to finish it. So for those of you who haven't kind of spent any time thinking about wood finishing series or the way that they do the barrel finish, or the stave finishing at Maker's Mark, they literally crack open a bottle of Maker's, a barrel.
They open a barrel.
And they dunk in 10 staves. And so for Maker's 46, that's 10 staves that are called 46. And there's, I think, is there 10 different staves they have? And they're all got different names.
Yep.
But you can get these expressions that are kind of variations on that. And it's a cool experience. You can go and do your own selection and then they age it in the cellar for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's these really unique expressions.
Yeah, and they release these ones based on the different cities and the different smells and flavours. And, the Sydney one was beautiful. And this Singapore one, it's delightful.
Oh, my
really,
goodness.
like a really subtle spice.
I agree with you. What is that?
It's like
that is
something Christmas, not Christmassy. It's like
maybe it's like a almost
cinnamony
like
or nutmeggy.
I was going to say ginger, maybe. Is that weird?
No, I was going to say something more nutmeg kind of.
Beautiful.
It's got that nice, yummy spice.
Lovely, lovely. Singapore is one of those places that we get to go a bit. Being in Australia, it's kind of like a relatively easy place to get to. And we've been on the way places and you can come on the way back. But we took our family, like our kids there,
like 2
for
years ago?
family holiday. And it's one of those amazing destinations that it's a city state, so it's teeny tiny.
Yep.
But there's so much going on there. We spent, a week or something?
Yeah.
But you could spend way longer if you wanted to.
And lots of great food and bars and swam in the pool a lot because it was very hot.
Yeah, amazing. And so...
And I'm going to be a bit sad when this bottle finishes because when I drink it, I always it's that thing of like I love the stories behind the bottles and the fact that this is Singapore from Singapore, and it makes me think of our family holiday to Singapore. And
isn't it funny the way a bottle can make you feel things?
Yeah, like whenever I drink this, I just think of funny stories from that trip, like trying to get into bars where we didn't have the right shoes and swapping with people on the street, crazy stuff.
Not sure that story is necessarily worth repeating, wearing someone else's shoes to get into a bar.
It was fun. It was a fun story. It was a great bar.
It was a good bar.
Yeah.
Do you know the mechanism by which you have to get that? These bottles aren't easy to get.
I did because I wanted to surprise you with getting you something that you didn't think I could get.
Mm-hmm.
And to get these bottles, you have to be at the international airport of that location. So obviously like the London one would be in London airport and it was like a particular terminal, and the Sydney one you could only get at the international terminal. And obviously the Singapore one you got flying out of Singapore, but the Sydney one, because we're in Australia, and we live in Melbourne, I go to the international airport at Melbourne. So there was no way of kind of getting the Sydney one, and I had no trips. You were having plenty of business trips, but I couldn't surprise you by asking you to get a bottle of the Sydney one. So I found someone who was flying into Sydney. Well, actually I didn't find someone. I found someone whose neighbour was flying in to Sydney who was happy to pick me up a bottle. It was wonderful and you got a surprise.
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to have to try to, like, as a bottle hunting mechanism, it's a fun one because it's like, it's not
Well, it's not going to sell
easy
out suddenly.
To organise a trip to a bottle shop that involves international travel.
Yeah.
That unless it's a thing that you're already going through that airport. Yeah. It's actually not that easy to organise yourself to go through the airport. And so can I tell you something that's not that embarrassing, but kind of embarrassing, is that I didn't plan to get you that bottle.
Wasn't a thoughtful thing like I went out of my way to try and get
It's not a thoughtful gift at all. I didn't think about this at all. I wasn't thinking.
You just discovered it on your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Great discovery.
I wandered by and went, of course I'm in Singapore airport. I can get
the Singapore one.
Also very hard. This is the other thing about this particular kind of bottle hunting is that it's really specific. There's not that many bottles of it, obviously.
Well, it's not hunting in this. It's like this fell into your lap. You went hunting for it.
Oh, that's weird that you would be so vulgar as to call
you
out
just explained. It was like, surprise.
Well, like to get this bottle is hard.
Yeah.
As a, collector or, an enjoyer of bourbon or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to get your hands on something like this.
No. I'd love to have the set. Like, imagine having all the international series ones. Be beautiful.
But the Sydney one's long gone and this one's not far from the end of its life. Because it's so good. Because the other
we
thing...
really should look up which other ones they did. Did they do a New York one?
I think there was a New York one and a London one, but I actually don't. London
That's
one.
our homework, to look up what other cities have done and,
Can I've tried a few times to start some sentences. Can I try to finish just one? I just want to finish one. Hang on. One of the things that's nice about these bottles is that when you go to our shelf and look at what we're going to have, if you're feeling just a little bit sentimental, that can take your eyes to any bottle, right? Like there can be lots of bottles with lots of stories because that's one of the things we love most about it. But one of the amazing things about a wood finishing Maker's Mark, because it's so approachable, is that it almost doesn't matter what mood you're in. You're probably all right to have a crack at it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes
it's always been enjoyable.
Sentimental mood and you want to go to the Watch Your Proper, or you feel like, maybe I could have that chicken cock, which is these beautiful bottles. Or you might have this really like, I really want to taste something that's finished in a particular kind of cask or something. With the Maker's wood finishing and then like in a city, it's like, we've been talking about the memories from that thing. Let's have a pour of that. And it's such fun for that reason.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that these stories and the stories that sometimes it's not about the story of the distiller or how that distillery came to be. It's the stories that you bring to the bottle as well.
Yeah. Well, particularly with this series. I'm going to be sad, but we'll have to just tell stories of Singapore over a bottle of something else.
Get more bottles, find a different city.
Maybe.
Get the London one. I've got a good reason to go to London now as well as that. But there's a few things we should do in London, right?
Come and gone a long time ago.
Nah, but I thought that about the Singapore one. I think I still saw one of those ones in Sydney. Actually, that's the other thing I was going to say is that I flew out of Sydney because, this thing of like it's not easy to plan a trip to a bottle shop that's an airport.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do. But I did fly out of Sydney International Airport and I walked past the Sydney Makers display or
Oh,
whatever.
and you saw some Sydney ones.
And there were still some Sydney ones there. So if you are flying out of Sydney and you are interested in getting one, this is now, September last year.
Yeah.
But there were still bottles there, and that's, 18,
But just in general, if
20
you're at
months.
international airport, check out the Makers selection and
Well, I mean,
see what
find
gems
a
you can
nice
find.
duty-free bourbon anyway. But I was flying to the States, so I wasn't going to use my duty-free allocation because I'd have to fly it over there and then fly it
Oh,
back.
then you had to bring it back. Oh, and you
I
didn't want
wasn't
to
gonna.
limit your restriction of
No.
bourbon coming back.
Anyway.
Sydney had to stay in Sydney, and we'll enjoy finishing Singapore.
Here is to great memories that you can sometimes bring to a bottle. Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you're connected with us on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, and stay connected with us by clicking subscribe on your favourite podcast app.